He gave a stranger a bottle of water. That single act cost him his job and brought 40 roaring engines to his street. If you've ever helped someone without expecting anything back, this one's for you. May your days sparkle with peace, your worries melt away, and your dearest dreams rise within reach. Before we begin, tell us, where in the world are you watching this from? The warehouse lights flickered above rows of boxed goods stacked like quiet sentinels. It was just past 6 a.m. when Adam Rivers noticed something strange near the far corner. A shadow where there shouldn't be one. He moved carefully, tired from another night of barely sleeping, boots echoing softly against the concrete. Adam had worked this job for over a decade. He didn't need trouble, but he also didn't ignore people. A biker sat there, slumped against the crate wall, breathing shallowly. His jacket was torn, blood crusting at the collarbone. One eye bruised shut, but his posture still proud, still silent. Adam glanced up at the security camera, angled just enough to miss the spot. He reached into his lunch bag and pulled out a thermos and a plastic water bottle. No questions, just kindness. The man nodded once as he took it, his hands shaking. They didn't speak, but something passed between them. Just 40 seconds. Then the biker was gone. And in a few days, so was Adam's job. Adam returned for his next shift as usual, still wearing the cap his daughter had embroidered with crooked red thread. My hero. He didn't notice the manager waiting until he was already halfway down the aisle. Todd Coleman stood with 2 security guards and a clipboard clutched like a verdict. Adam, we need to talk, he said, voice flat. You were seen on footage aiding an intruder. You didn't report it. That's a violation of safety protocols. Adam blinked. I gave a man water. He was bleeding. Todd didn't flinch. And you let him walk away. That's negligence. You're terminated effective immediately. They escorted him out like a threat. No handshakes, no thank yous, just silence. Outside, cold wind cut through Adam's jacket like paper. He didn't fight it. Just sat on the curb and stared at the empty parking lot, numb. He wasn't sure how to tell. Lily, she was 10, too young to carry this. But life didn't wait for anyone's age. What Adam didn't know was that someone else had watched more than the footage. And they remembered everything. Lily's voice came soft from behind her coloring book. She looked up, markers in hand, eyes wide. Adam stood in the doorway, soaked from a drizzle, trying to shape a smile. Just wanted to spend the day with you, he said. Her brow furrowed. Are you sick? He shook his head. Nope. Then did someone die? He laughed weakly. No bug, nothing like that. She paused, then too quietly. Did we get fired? His heart cracked. She always said we like they were in it together. Because they were... He nodded once. Lily slid off her chair and hugged him tight. It's okay, she whispered. You're still my hero. Later that night, while she slept under her glow-in-the-dark ceiling stars, Adam stared at the unopened bills stacked on the table. He didn't cry, but he came close. Then, faint at first, he heard it. The distant rumble of motorcycles. It grew louder, a chorus of engines weaving into the night. Adam walked to the window, confused, and saw headlights lining up one after the other. Something was coming. By dawn, the entire block buzzed with whispers. Curtains twitched. Phones recorded quietly. Outside Adam's small rented home, more than 40 motorcycles lined the curb like steel horses. Chrome glinted under the morning sun. Jackets bore insignias unfamiliar to most, but instantly recognizable to those who knew the streets. Adam stood in the doorway, shielding Lily behind him. His hands trembled slightly, not from fear, but from not knowing what this was. He recognized one face, the biker from the warehouse, now clean-shaven, eyes sharp, no longer bruised. He nodded at Adam, then stepped aside. A man stepped forward, older, tall, silver beard flowing over a black leather vest. His patch read AFA. You helped one of ours, he said, voice gravelly but calm. Adam swallowed. I just gave him water. The man smiled. Exactly. And no one does that anymore. He pulled out a gleaming silver key. Come with us. There's more to this story. Lily peeked out. Are you superheroes? The man chuckled. No, kid. We're just people who don't forget. And with that, the street went silent, waiting for what came next. Adam didn't move at first. The sound of 40 idling engines vibrated through his chest. He looked down at Lily, who clutched his pinky with both hands. His instinct screamed to say, "No, stay back." But something about the biker's voice, measured, steady, honest, cut through the noise. "I don't want any trouble," Adam finally said. "You didn't cause trouble," the silver-bearded man replied. "You eased someone's pain when no one was watching. That kind of man, we ride for him." The biker Adam had helped stepped forward. "Name's Ridge," he said, extending a hand. "You looked me in the eye when I was invisible." Adam shook it slowly, still confused. "Why are you all here?" Ridge smiled. "Because we don't let men like you fall." The silver-bearded leader handed Adam the key again. "This unlocks something we think you've earned. A second chance." Then he motioned toward the back of the row where a black van waited, engine running. "Come see what that kindness started." Adam hesitated, then nodded, and Lily whispered, "Let's go, Daddy." The van door slid open with a soft hiss. Inside sat a fully rebuilt Harley-Davidson motorcycle, matte black, trimmed with red polished to shine. It looked untouched by time, like a warrior reborn. But Adam didn't understand. "I don't ride." "You don't have to," Ridge said gently. "But your dad did." Adam's heart stilled. "How do you know that?" The silver-bearded leader, now standing closer, looked at him with a surprising softness. "Your father was Rusty Rivers. Rode with our chapter in the 80s. Good man, quiet, always fixed what others broke. Died before you turned 10, right?" Adam nodded, numb. "We've been keeping tabs. He saved my brother once on a winter ride, patched his gas line with nothing but duct tape and stubbornness. Saved his life." He reached inside his vest and handed Adam a photo. His dad, younger, smiling with grease-covered hands beside a younger version of Ridge. "That bike was your dad's?" "We rebuilt it in your honor." Adam stared at the machine, jaw trembling. Felt like touching a memory. Only this one still roared. That afternoon, Adam and Lily rode in the black van behind the convoy of bikers. He didn't ask where they were going. He didn't need to. Lily pressed her nose to the window, watching the leather-clad riders weave through traffic like a shield around them. The world moved differently when you had backup. They pulled into an empty parking lot beside a dusty old garage. It looked abandoned until the doors opened. Inside was a fully functional motorcycle repair shop, tools neatly hung, freshly painted walls, a soft scent of oil and sawdust in the air. But more surprising was the freshly painted sign above the entrance. Rivers Customs. "What is this?" Adam asked, voice tight. Ridge stepped beside him. "Your new workplace. Your new beginning." Adam blinked. "I don't understand. I don't have the money. I don't know how to." "We'll teach you. We'll help you. Your dad taught half of us. Now it's our turn?" Lily grinned. "Daddy's shop." Adam felt the burn behind his eyes again. This wasn't charity. This was legacy. Adam walked inside the garage slowly, running his fingers over the smooth countertop, the old socket wrenches, the smell of fresh lumber and steel. Everything felt like a memory he'd never lived, but somehow still knew. He stopped at a dusty pegboard where a single tool belt hung, marked with the initials RR. Ridge placed a hand on his shoulder. "We kept it just in case." Adam lifted it from the wall. It was heavy, worn, and smelled faintly of motor oil and leather, but when he strapped it on, it didn't feel strange. Felt like home. The other bikers stood back, letting the moment breathe. Lily tiptoed around the shop, inspecting everything like a curious inspector. "This is the best place ever," she whispered. Adam exhaled slowly. For the first time in weeks, the knot in his chest loosened. Not because things were suddenly perfect, but because he wasn't alone anymore. Outside, the sound of engines had faded. Inside, something else roared quietly to life. Hope. For the next hour, Adam didn't talk much. He didn't have to. Ridge showed him how the lifts worked. Another rider, Chains, explained the booking software, pausing often so Adam could jot things down in a battered notebook. But more than the shop, what overwhelmed Adam was the silence between them. Comforting, not cold. These men didn't need to fill space. They just showed up. Lily found a stool near the front and began sketching logos for Rivers Customs on the back of old receipts. When one biker tank saw her doodle flames around the name, he gave her a fist bump and promised to paint it on the shop window himself. Adam watched, arms crossed, unsure whether to laugh or cry. He'd been fired for helping someone quietly. Now a dozen strangers were building him a new life just as quietly. At one point, Ridge handed him a tin box. Inside were the original shop deeds and permits, already signed in Adam's name. "This place was meant to be yours," Ridge said. Adam just nodded, heart thudding. Sometimes silence says everything. Later that evening, after the writers left and Lily was curled up asleep in the corner office with her markers, Adam stood outside the garage watching the sky turn purple. He hadn't asked for any of this. He didn't think he deserved it. He just tried to do the right thing. That's when a soft voice startled him. "You've got your father's eyes?" An old man stepped forward from the sidewalk. Leather vest, faded jeans, no bike, just a limp and a weathered face. "You knew him?" Adam asked. "Knew him?" "Rusty Rivers patched me up in Phoenix when my leg got crushed in a pileup. Never forgot it." He reached into his pocket and handed Adam a photograph. It showed a younger version of the man, half-conscious, leaning against Rusty, who looked so much like Adam it was eerie. "I heard what you did," he added. "Helping Ridge when no one else did. Apple didn't fall far." Adam stared at the photo, then the man. For the first time in years, his past didn't feel like a shadow. Felt like a light. 2 days later, the shop opened for business. No banners, no grand ceremony, just Adam, Ridge, and a pot of burnt coffee. The first customer was a woman named Serena with a busted chain and a tired look in her eyes. Her voice shook as she explained how her husband used to fix the bike, but he was gone now and she couldn't afford a dealer. Adam listened, nodded, and rolled up his sleeves. It took him 2 hours and 3 attempts to get it perfect. But when he handed her the keys, Serena blinked back tears. "You didn't even ask for payment?" "I will," Adam said. "Just not today." She hugged him hard, then rode off a little steadier than she came. Ridge clapped Adam on the back. "You fixed more than a chain today." That night, Lily taped her new logo sketch to the front window. 1 customer turned into 5, 5 into a dozen. And soon Adam wasn't just fixing bikes. He was mending trust too. Sometimes second chances don't knock. They ride in quietly and wait. 1 week later, Adam was called to Lily's school for a meeting. Normally, those made his stomach twist, but this time he walked in with a little more air in his lungs. The teacher smiled. "It's nothing bad. We just wanted to tell you Lily's been drawing about your new garage during class. Her essays, they're all about you." Adam chuckled, a little embarrassed. "I hope that's not a problem." "Not at all," she said. "In fact, we'd love to invite you for career day." Adam froze. He'd never been the one invited to speak. That was for CEOs, doctors, people who wore pressed shirts and had offices. But Lily's drawing was on the wall behind the teacher's desk. It showed a man in a shop apron, hands on a motorcycle, a little girl in goggles beside him. She'd written one sentence in crayon. "My dad fixes what people give up on." Adam smiled, swallowing the lump in his throat. Maybe that's exactly what he did. And maybe it was finally time to be proud of it. On the 4th week, just as business began to settle into rhythm, a familiar car rolled into the lot. Black sedan, tinted windows. Adam wiped his hands on a rag as the driver stepped out. It was Todd Coleman, his old warehouse manager. The same man who fired him without hesitation. Todd looked around, expression unreadable. "Didn't expect this to be legit," he muttered. Adam crossed his arms. "Didn't expect you here." Todd hesitated. "I heard rumors. Thought you were working with criminals." Adam didn't respond. Ridge stepped out from the office, arms folded but calm. Todd stiffened. "I'm not here to fight," Todd said. "I came to apologize." Adam blinked. Todd continued, eyes lowered. Corporate reviewed the footage. Sighed, I acted too fast. You lost your job doing something decent? I didn't protect you. I just covered my own back. For a moment, neither man spoke. Then Adam nodded slowly. Thanks for saying it. Todd left quietly, and for the first time Adam realized sometimes redemption doesn't roar. Sometimes it whispers. Later that same day, a rough-looking teen pushed a half-broken scooter into the lot. Sleeves pulled up long, eyes darting like someone used to being told to leave. Adam walked over. You okay? The boy hesitated. It won't start. I gotta get to work. Ridge peeked from the garage. What's your name? Eli. All right, Eli, Adam said, squatting down. Let's see what you've got here. As they worked, Eli slowly opened up. 17, homeless, holding down 2 part-time jobs, no family? Said he slept behind the library most nights. Adam listened without judgment. They got the scooter running within an hour. Eli looked stunned. How much do I owe you? Adam shook his head. You don't. But if you're looking for something steadier, we could use a hand sweeping the lot. Eli's eyes watered, but he nodded hard. As he walked away, Ridge said quietly, he reminds me of someone. Adam knew exactly who. Some people don't need a lecture. They just need someone to hand them a wrench. 2 months in, a customer posted a photo of Lily's window design. The simple drawing, Rivers Customs, outlined in red flames with her signature below. Within days, the image spread like wildfire. Comments poured in. Best mechanic in town with the kindest heart. Helped my brother for free when no one else would. This is what second chances look like. Local press showed up. Then national. A reporter from a morning show asked Adam to share his story. He declined the spotlight but let Ridge do the talking. I've ridden with killers and saints, Ridge told the camera. And this man helped someone when no one was watching. That's more than most do with the world watching. Lily got invited to draw for other small businesses. She asked Adam, am I your partner now? He laughed. You've always been? They added her name to the shop wall, small in gold, beside his. In a world so quick to judge and forget, something real had finally stuck. Kindness had gone viral. And this time it didn't fade. On a crisp fall morning, Ridge handed Adam a folded note and a leather jacket with the AFA patch stitched on the back. You don't have to wear it, Ridge said. But you've earned it. The note was simple. One last ride, just us. Adam didn't ask questions. He kissed Lily on the forehead, strapped on his helmet, and joined Ridge on the highway. They rode for an hour in silence past towns, farms, winding hills, until they stopped at a clearing where wildflowers brushed the wind. There a small memorial stood. A stone carved with the name Rusty Rivers. Adam's breath caught. He hadn't visited since he was a teen. We rebuilt it, Ridge said. For him, for you, for all of us who needed someone like him. Adam placed the AFA jacket beside the stone, then with slow hands added something new, Lily's drawing. Ridge placed a single glove on the marker. He'd be proud. Adam nodded. And for the first time in his life, he believed it, too. 2 weeks after the ride to his father's memorial, Adam received a letter in the mail. Official city letterhead. His chest tightened. He braced for bad news, eviction, zoning issues. He slowly opened it. To his surprise, it was an invitation. The city council wanted to honor him publicly. They'd heard the story, how he helped a man, lost his job, then helped dozens more. They called it an example of moral courage in working-class America. Adam laughed under his breath. All this for a bottle of water. Ridge clapped him on the shoulder. It wasn't the bottle. It was the way you gave it. The event drew local news and community members. Lily wore a red bow tie and introduced her dad with a proud, wobbly speech. Adam didn't say much on stage, just a few words. I didn't do anything special. I just didn't look away. The crowd stood and clapped. And for the first time in years, Adam didn't feel invisible. He felt seen. And that kind of dignity couldn't be bought. Winter came fast. Snow dusted the rooftops. Business slowed, but the shop kept running. Locals dropped by with holiday cookies and thank yous. Adam repaired bikes and snowblowers alike. His fingers always moving, heart always full. Then on Christmas Eve, Adam was closing up when he heard it. The low, familiar rumble. Not one engine, 40. He stepped outside as headlights lit up the street. Ridge led the pack. This time, every rider wore a Santa hat or draped tinsel on their bikes. They weren't here for repairs. They were here for Lily. Ridge parked and opened a large box. Inside, a custom pink leather jacket, her name embroidered in gold. Then, a miniature helmet bedazzled with flames and a tiny AFA patch. "Little Rivers," Ridge said, kneeling. "Your family now." Lily shrieked and hugged him tight. Adam stood behind her, arms folded, barely able to speak. It wasn't just a gift. It was belonging. And somehow 40 men who rode in silence had made a little girl feel like royalty. Spring brought color back to the city. Flowers bloomed beside the shop's wooden sign, now hand-painted by Lily and outlined with tiny stars. Adam arrived early each day, often greeted by strangers who heard the story and just wanted to shake his hand. One morning, a man arrived in a business suit, clearly out of place. "You don't remember me," he said. "But my sister, you fixed her bike." That ride kept her from missing a job interview. She got it. Changed her life. Adam didn't know what to say. The man handed him a sealed envelope. A small thank you from someone who noticed. Inside was a check large enough to cover the shop's rent for a year. That night, Adam sat at the kitchen table, Lily beside him drawing. "Daddy," she said, "do you think maybe when I grow up I can help people too?" He smiled, brushing hair from her face. "You already do." And in that quiet moment, surrounded by oil stains and hand-drawn stars, kindness passed to the next generation. 1 year later, the story was still being told at school assemblies, in biker bars, on online forums about unexpected heroes. But Adam, he never chased the fame. He kept fixing what was broken, kept showing up. Every so often, a biker would roll in, sit down without a word, and just nod. That's all it took. The family he found never needed to say much. Lily eventually added a second line under the shop logo. It read, "Built on kindness." Adam framed it and hung it on the wall. Because when people asked how it all started, how a man with nothing ended up with a shop, a tribe, and a legacy, it all came down to a moment no one else had noticed. He just gave water to a man everyone else walked past. And somehow the whole world changed after that. So, if you're ever wondering whether small kindness matters, remember Adam Rivers. If the story moved you, let us know in the comments. Would you have helped that biker or walked away? Hit subscribe for more powerful stories of real-life redemption and second chances.